Welcome to I Say Yes and with Alicia Larson, the podcast where we dive into all things spiritual and watch as we grow as humans and expand as the powerful spiritual beings we know we are. Let's dive in. Are you ready to acknowledge the power of the words you see, hear, and speak? Then you are ready to shop at High Vibe Emporium. I created this after seeing so many items in other online stores that had low vibrational messaging. I acknowledged the power words make, and I wanted to have items in my life that effortlessly increased my frequency. New items drop monthly. Check out the link in the show notes or go to highvibeemporium.com. Welcome to the first episode of my brand new podcast, I Say Yes and with Alicia Larson. I'm Alicia and you are going to get to know me so well, but I'm here to share all things that I'm hearing and feeling and receiving from the spirit world. And it's beautiful and I cannot wait to share all of the things. Today, I want to dive into when you're feeling that itch. Okay, it's not what you think it is. It's not the medical kind of itch, but it's that feeling of, is there more in this life? Is there more for me? Is this just what life is about, waiting for the next ball to drop? And spoiler, life gets better if you choose for it to be. You know that saying where like you choose happiness? Okay, I remember one time I was talking to a friend. He was going through all these things, and as we were talking, he said, "Please don't tell me that I have to choose happiness right now." And I remember being kind of like taken aback by that. Like, well, of course you have to choose happiness, because if you're choosing miserable, then you're going to be miserable. But as I started to talk with him, I told him, I think so many people have this misconception of what choosing happiness looks like. You can choose happiness, but all of your actions and everything past saying I choose happiness looks the opposite. So, in that sense, actions speak louder than words. Are you actually choosing happiness? What does that look like? It's kind of like this action that you have to take. I choose happiness and I'm choosing to act that way. I'm choosing to listen to my intuition and dive into XYZ, whatever your intuition is telling you. So many times we as human want it to be this simple declaration. I'm going to say it in the mirror to my face. I choose happiness today. And that's all well and good, but as soon as you walk away from the mirror, then you're angry, and maybe something didn't go the way that it could have within that first hour, so then you're upset. And you're not rolling with the vibe that you just created in front of the mirror. And so the itch that I'm talking about is when you have this feeling that there has to be more out there. There has to be better for you. You're getting sick of the constant roller coaster of waiting for that next ball to drop. Waiting for, okay, I'm feeling really good. Life has been really beautifully blessed right now. But when's that gonna stop? And life is life, and us as humans, we experience all things. So choosing one thing doesn't mean that you're not going to experience disappointment, anger, heartache. You're not going to still grieve for somebody who has passed away, but it can look differently. And so for me, when I was feeling that itch, I dove into life coaching. I dove into self-help books and podcasts that were about bettering yourself. And I consumed and I consumed and I consumed until actually I got to the point where a coworker asked me to read a certain book. And as I started reading it, I was like, I've already read this. Like, the story's a little different, but this is not brand new information for me. I'm not feeling the vibe that I felt when I read all the other self-help books with this one. And, you know, you keep doing your thing, and the itch will look different for everyone. I remember particularly, it was about 3 years ago. I was in a spot of fear. My mom was just diagnosed with cancer, which now I believe was stage 4. Things transgressed so quickly, and she passed away within months of being diagnosed with cancer that they didn't actually give the full stage. But considering she passed so quickly, that is probably the reality of that diagnosis. And I was just in so much emotional pain and fear. And I remember laying in bed one day and I just wanted hope. I wanted to feel energetic. I wanted to feel excitement in my life. And I stumbled upon a random TikTok and I instantly felt like, who is this person? What is this energy that she is emoting? Where can I get some of this? And it turned into this beautiful journey of, I started following her. I signed up for like a masterclass that she was offering that was going to be like, I don't remember if it was the next day or the next week, but long story short, she is my mentor and she's been my personal mentor for 3 years. And I work with her one-on-one. I work with her within her group setting, and it's all the vibes that I was looking for. And throughout that process, it wasn't just, oh, I found this. It was still a transition. Me choosing to follow this person and diving into her lives and her training sessions and all of this, it wasn't instantaneous. And that's not to say that your journey can't be, but I dove in where things felt comfortable and I allowed my journey to be what my journey could be at that time. And 3 years later, I can tell you that my life is so completely different. And although there's probably a part of me, there is, that wished that I stepped in more greatly with my intention, I do also understand the beauty of the journey that I had and the fluctuation and the pauses that I took and the beautiful place that I am today. And honestly, I wouldn't change that. And so I leave with you with this quick, brief episode with just the question of, are you feeling the itch to understand more in your life, to understand more of your power? Because you're not alone. I think this is a common thing that so many people feel, and many people ignore it because the matrix, which is basically all of the world around you of society, is conforming to the settling ways of life and humanity. And so it can feel a little awkward saying, well, yes, and let's dive in fully 100%. Life is so beautiful, and life within the matrix is nothing if not utter chaos. Let's admit it. But when you step into your power, when you step into the spiritual side of you, and you start to build an understanding and relationship with your inner child, your higher self, your shadow. When you start to have relationships with your guides in a way where you communicate and you don't just listen when you choose to, but you say yes and to your guides, things start to shift in ways that will blow your mind, and people will leave your life and you won't fully understand it, but there will be that moment when you see, oh, it actually was for the better. Like, this is good. I'm good. So all the itch is that feeling of unsettlement in your life where you yearn for something greater. You yearn for a connection, but maybe you can't pinpoint exactly what that connection looks like or who that connection is with. And one of the things that you can't connect is because the connection you're yearning for is for the spiritual side of your being. And the world doesn't want us to connect to that. So it will probably feel wrong to some extent. You'll create boundaries around, well, this way, this is the safe way, this is okay, this is okay. And we limit even that. But the itch is you in a spot of settlement. And guess what? Settlement can be washed away. And when we wash the settlement away, we can be left with something so beautiful. And that is the power of you as you. Because you are the only you this world has. You are the only person with your perspective. You are the only person with your voice. And you're here for a reason. And there's something really beautiful about that. I know the world wants you to believe that what I just said is so trite, but there is beauty in it. And when you're ready to see the beauty of your unique being, you are then well past the stage of saying, I say yes and. Thank you so much for your time with diving into this. One thing that I really want to do is I'm just going to send you some love as we end this episode. I ooze with love, and I am specially coded with love codes. And so for the last moment of this episode, I'm just going to send you some loving energy. If you choose to receive it, say, I receive this love blessing from Alicia. And listen to this music for the next 60 seconds while you receive, download, and activate love from me and my spirits to you. All my love, Alicia. And take a deep breath and out. Oh, spirits, pour rain over each and every person listening to this episode. Flow love from the top of their crown and have it flow like water all the way down through their voice, allowing them to speak with love and fully engulf their heart space with that radiating love that I see is blue and yellow and pink and green. It's so beautiful. And infuse in this heart space unconditional love for self, for life, and for who they are today and tomorrow. Oh. Love spirits, increase the love and take them higher. And continue to breathe. The water spirits are here, so the water spirits are just going to help the love flow completely through you and wash away anything that is stagnant energy or energy that is not of service of you. You may experience yawns, deep breaths, swallows, or coughs. All is well, and it's just a release of that energy. And flow more love into their being, all the way down into their root chakra. And water spirits, let's now ground this energy. Let's take this love and this water and flow it all the way down deep into the earth, grounding each soul into the deep, deep earth and receiving this love. Oh, love spirits, complete the process of washing love over the individual listening to this podcast. Beautiful. Feel free to listen to this episode or this part of the episode whenever you want to feel love wash over you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Thank you for joining me on this episode of I Say Yes And with Alicia Larson. I hope you feel inspired and empowered to embrace your inner power and manifest the life you desire. Remember, the journey to self-discovery and empowerment is ongoing, and I'm here with you every step of the way. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to subscribe, rate, and leave a review. Your feedback helps us reach more souls ready to say yes to their own potential. Don't forget to follow me on social media for more insights, inspiration, and updates on upcoming episodes. Together we can create a community of empowered individuals living their dream lives. Until next time, keep saying yes to yourself, yes to your dreams, and yes to the power within you. Stay magical and keep shining your light.